if you have one good channel for distribution, you can win. But if you suck at all of them, you lose. Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to Lease Up Leaders, where we're all about helping you guys lease up your student housing properties using creative tactics and entertainment. So today we're going to be talking about how to convert more leads into leases. Quite often I hear this a lot from owners, regionals, marketing directors, like, hey, we're getting people in the door, but we're not converting traffic, or we don't even have a lead generation program, or leads coming from apartments.com, they don't convert because they're not great for student, they're not fit for student. So I'm going to show you today, one, how we help our clients focus on converting leads into leases, and just give it to you for free. And I just hope it helps you out, because this is something very valuable and can change your marketing if you actually put it into practice. So number one is getting clear on where you're at. So I know quite often, even in life, we have goals, but a great place to start is knowing where you're at. So then you can focus on trends and driving metrics. When you're talking to an owner, it feels a lot better to tell the owner, hey, we've increased by 20%, rather than, hey, here's the number, right? So they can see, oh, okay, we're actually growing and improving. Whether you're in the management business or not, you want to be able to show the trends of the results of the work that you're doing in terms of marketing. Secondly, in terms of gathering data, you want to focus on how many of the leads of the sources that you're using are actually converting into leases. You heard me mention apartments.com. A lot of people use apartments.com for student, but then they find it does not work that well because there are people who misunderstand the listing. They misunderstand the price as an entire unit instead of the price per bed. So you know, oh, okay, our lead conversion rate is not great for apartments.com. And that'll give you all that data that you need to be able to move forward. Another thing in terms of gathering data is, are the lead sources that you're using integrating with your property management software? If you're using Entrata, Resman, Yardi, what's the RealPage, what's Appfolio, you want to make sure that when you're getting leads, they're instantly populating in here, because then that sets your team up for success. Because if you're not, now they have to manually enter it, and that's time they could have been typing an email or making a phone call instead of entering data manually. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by gathering data. Top 3 things. What lead sources are you using? How are they converting? How many leads are you getting? And how are those leads converting into leases? Then you'll want to move down into analyze. After you have that kind of sitting in front of you, you'll be able to say, okay, in terms of the leasing funnel, which sources are actually working best? Because when we talk about increasing lead conversion rate, it's less important how to increase, like how to follow up more, and it's more important on, like, dude, what sources should we really be doubling down on? There's a book I just read, 0 to 1, and it talks about if you have one good channel for distribution, you can win, but if you suck at all of them, you lose. So if you just get one source and see which one addresses every part of the leasing funnel. Awareness, that's great with a billboard. Like, let's use that as an example. You get a lot of awareness, but how often does engagement come in, where you're actually collecting info from people who are qualified and interested in living at the property? Listing sites, they're great for engagement, but how often do you get unqualified leads that actually don't convert? And then finally, the conversion part. Social media is great for actually getting in front of people, but if you're getting in front of people and you're not actually able to get them to sign a lease, or let's say tours is a better example. If you're getting people in the door, but you have no idea where they came from, you didn't drive them in the door, and they're just here, then how is that scalable? How is that predictable? Now you're getting to the spray and pray. You just do everything and hope you fill up and hope people come in the door. Let's get away from that, and let's get into using the leasing funnel. That leads me to my final point, which is the gap. Guys, right now there is a huge gap in student housing, and it's this one. It's engagement. Go on social media, look at a few properties, look at your properties. I'm challenging you to analyze the marketing for your property's social media right now. Look on there and say, okay, how many falls into awareness and conversion? Hey, come sign today. Hey, 4 spots left. Hey, here's this and that. And then the other side is dogs, the dog contest, the giveaway. And these things are important, but there's a gap. Where's the opportunity for people to opt in and exchange for a promo code, coupon, something that shows that they're interested in living at the property without signing a lease? What's the one step before signing a lease? Everyone's missing this, guys. This is the fruit. Everyone's saying, I want more leases, but they're neglecting lead generation. You should have a lead generation process that goes outside of listing sites. What differentiates you in the market in terms of lead generation? Everyone's doing the same thing. So if you really want to win in terms of leads and leases signed, you need to address the gap. Start thinking of lead generation strategies in your market. And I'm not saying just use Resident Reach. We're a great source for a lot of people, but sometimes we're not the right fit. It's about you knowing what's best for your property. You knowing, hey, we should do this thing in this market that would be great. And rather than just a giveaway, we should say, hey, here's something to opt in to receive that. And now we follow up. Does that make sense? Because here's what's happened. A lot of sales staff, they don't have anybody to follow up with. They're following up with people who submitted an application. Those people should have signed. Those people are like the highest, the warm, they're like here. What about here? This is when you start driving new business down the funnel. And there's also something called the law of diminishing returns. At a certain point, the people who filled out an application, if you contact them more than 5 times, you're just getting a diminished return at that point. So why are they wasting time on leads that are dead when you could push more leads through the funnel and actually get leases signed? So I hope this helps you guys out. Please just leave a comment below if you feel like this was actually valuable. We'll start doing more videos like this, but this is really how I would go about it, and this is really the data that we've seen from our experience. If you have a differing opinion, please let me know that below. I would love to be able to create a community where we can help each other grow. Next week, we're gonna do a version of this just talking about following up and how to make sure when you do get the engagement right, how to convert more of those engaged leads into leases. Hope this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching Lease Up Leaders, and I'll see you next week.